Ahoy, matey! How are you doing? This is Captain Mark here, coming at you once again with From the Wheelhouse, and we're underwritten by Dreamcatchers Incorporated. Today we're going to talk about quite a few things that are interesting to those of you that want to get into the business of boating. I just am so excited. I'm still soaking wet. Oh my goodness, don't you know that the weather today with all of this rain and stuff, I was delivering a boat this morning, got soaking wet, and I'm still cold from it all. But you know what? I'm very blessed to be able to do it because the clients that I serve, clients just like you, they appreciate it. You see, once they get to their boat on those nice sunny days, they appreciate that they had somebody to deliver their boats during the bad weather days. We've had a slow start to the season weather-wise, but the business goes on. And I want you to know there are so many opportunities, just so many opportunities for you to get into the maritime business, and I want to help you. So grab a pen. I'm going to give you my direct telephone. Oh my goodness, did he say that? Yes, I'm going to give you my direct telephone number, and you can give me a call directly by going to 312-437-2230. I hope you can read my writing. I wrote that with my foot. This is 312-437-2230. That's how you reach Captain Mark. For those of you that may not want to call me, you can also email me. I always get a ton of questions, and today I'm going to answer a couple of these questions for you, but I want you to know that my email is not the only way that you can get me. By the way, that's boatmastermark1653 at Gmail. Boatmastermark it's boatmastermark1653 at Gmail. And I promise I'll try to get to answer all of your questions. I'm not going to try. I'm going to do it. That's my word. My phone is never clogged up with voicemail messages. I make sure that I take the time to answer every one of the callers. But today is a live call-in interactive show. You can get off of that couch, or maybe you might be sitting on the couch. You can pick up your phone and you can call in and ask a question about the maritime industry by calling the number on the bottom of your screen, 312-738-1060. And we're grateful once again to come and answer your questions and talk about the wonderful world of the maritime industry and the maritime profession. We had a couple of people who asked about doing boat inspections. Well, we always get these questions about if I'm going to buy a boat, what do I look for? What are the things I look for? So every week I'm going to give you a few of these tips, and there are 31 of them all together. Today I'm just going to cover a few of them. And we also have a very special guest coming in today. This guy has done the things that you have asked about doing in order to become a captain. And today we're going to pin his bars on him. Yes, we are going to do it. He did everything necessary to come into the industry. And I want to tell you, you can do this at any age. You don't just have to encourage that young person that's staying in the basement of your house to get out and get a job. You want to encourage them, but also there are many of you that are in your 40s, 50s, and even 60s who always have had to dream to get on the water. Male or female, you can come into this business and do quite well. I can tell you that. And Dreamcatchers has opened the doors for us to be able to get the message out to folks like you who want to know. Now back to the boat inspections. We're going to spend just a couple of minutes on this. What are the things that you need to do in order to inspect a boat? Well, first is taking a look at the hull of the boat. Is the hull of the boat secure? Does it have any nicks, scratches, or holes in it? Does it have any visible spots where it looks like it's been repaired? Perhaps the person that's selling the boat has had some damage to the boat and they're covering it up with a good paint job. How do you know how to tell the difference? Well, you use a rubber hammer and you go around and you're tapping. You're listening for the same sound all the way around the hull and not hollow sounds. I want you to know that the integrity of your hull is so important. Second is the keel. That's the long part under your boat. On sailboats, a keel is that long thing that's hanging down, and it keeps the boat upright. It's made out of lead. Some of them weigh an awful lot, and it keeps the boat upright. But on other boats, power boats, the keel is a line that runs straight down the middle of the boat. Is that line straight and true? And so you want to take a look at that line. The next thing is your deck. Well, are there any bubble spots and any soft, mushy spots that might be soaking in a lot of water? Are there some spots that have just been painted over? You need to go over every inch of a boat in order to see that that deck is really, really solid. Now, the helm station. Don't you know that at the helm station, where the captains sit, you got to make sure that you're taking a look at the gauges, that they're not fogged up, that they're all functional and working. So when you're taking a look at purchasing a boat, you want to make sure that you're dialing in on these things to make sure that everything is working. Try all of the switches, and try the blower motor, try all of the lights. You need to be able to come in and make sure that at the captain's helm, everything is absolutely working, because there's no time to try and figure out what's wrong when the storm blows in. Remember, I always talk about it. Everybody wants to be the captain until the storm blows in. The next thing is the molding and trim. Well, just like with a car, you want to go around the entire boat to see that all of the trim and the molding is on the boat correctly and solid. This tells a lot about how a person has kept a boat before you think about purchasing it. Take a look at the hardware. The hardware of the boat, like the cleats and the railings, are they really stable and really attached to the boat? Are they wobbly? Are they loose? Do you have loose screws around? You need to go around the entire boat. Take a look at the cushions next and make sure that the cushions don't have stitching that's about to come loose. Make sure that they didn't turn the cushion over and you have some holes in the back on the other side of the cushion. Don't you notice a lot of people that get on a boat and for some reason they don't want to sit their behinds down. For some reason they want to jump up and down on the seats. I guess to show everybody that I'm on a boat, you know. And what do? If they're well fed, they plop themselves down and jump up and down on your seats and cut a hole in them, and you don't know it until they're gone. But once you get ready to buy a boat, you want to go over every inch of the stitching. Last of all, I want to talk about the windshield and navigational lights. Well, is the windshield scratched up? Did the previous owner change the wipers regularly? You will see scratches on the windshield, or you're going to have to buy a new windshield. It's really important that you see well, especially once it starts raining like it did today. You want to make sure that your wipers are working and functional, and that you have extra wipers on top of that. The navigation lights are the very last thing that I'm going to talk about today. And the navigation lights are very important. They come in two colors, three really: white, red, and green. And we'll talk about the proper positions of these lights, but these lights, in short, allow other boaters to see you when visibility is low, especially at night, but also in the fog. So you want to make sure that you walk around the boat and you're taking a look to see that all of the navigation lights are working and functional. That's all for that. Now, I want to give you my telephone number again, and I want you to call in. This is a live call-in interactive show at 312-738-1060. If you'd like to reach me directly, here's how you do it. You make sure that you call me at 312-437-2230. That's 312-437-2230. Now, that big hand that you just saw belongs to none other than my good friend, Benton Cook. Welcome to today's show.
How you doing? Thank you, Captain Mark. It's a pleasure.
Look, I know that we've had so many great times. I have taken you on different deliveries with me, different journeys we've been on,
yes.
And you have been an outstanding deckhand. I mean, outstanding.
Thank you.
You have done everything that I could ever wish a deckhand to do.
Well, thank you.
But you took it to the next level. Let me ask you something. How old are you?
I am 66.
66?
Yes.
You're a little bit older than me.
Yeah, about 3 months, exactly.
Yeah, my birthday's coming up.
June 22nd, and I'm
wow.
March 22nd.
Wow, well, happy belated birthday.
Thank you, sir.
There's something that you did to take yourself to the next level. And you went to captain school, did you?
Yes. I went to Chicago Maritime Academy.
Why would you do that at 65 or 66 years old now?
Well, I was actually 65 when I did, so it was only a year ago.
Okay.
But I had been under your tutelage, under your mentorship, for 4 years. And as I shared with you then, I was interested, and I was all in the boating industry.
I see.
But I needed to know all that I could know, besides functioning with you all the time. I needed to know the laws, the rules, the regulations that are so important. You know, when you do it in a practical application, it's good. But once you put the formal education to it, it's outstanding. So,
was it really, difficult? A lot of our viewers right now are thinking, oh man, captain school. How long did it take to go through captain school?
It was a total of 12 weeks. Well, 8 to 12 weeks.
How many days a week?
3 days a week, 3 hours per day.
3 days a week, so that's 9 hours a week.
Correct.
For 12 weeks going through captain school. Now, you had to do something else. You had to have sea time in order to do that. Now, you mentioned that you worked with me for 4 years.
Yes.
And I guess you had well over 360 days, which
well over, you made sure that.
which are required to do it. And I want to thank you for helping me for free.
That's right.
I paid my dues. Everyone else pays their dues to get that sea time and learn.
You have to.
How many different boats do you think that you got a chance to drive during those years?
It was dozens of them.
Did we ever have a time that you could remember? You want to share with the viewers one of our exciting times? I know we had more than one or two.
Well, I'll share this with you, and you can elaborate on it if you would. But we took a sailboat. We drove up to Kenosha, Wisconsin.
Oh yeah.
No, we actually took the train up to Kenosha, Wisconsin, and we delivered a boat from Kenosha, Wisconsin, over to, was it Lindbergh?
Yes,
Ludington, Michigan. And we started out, and it was a great day because that was the day your grandson was born, Sydney.
That's right. You remember that.
No, we stayed up all night wondering when Cherokee was going to let us know, when your wife was going to let us know.
Oh, my God.
So we left there about 3 o'clock that morning. And still the baby wasn't born until we got on the boat and started sailing. And you got the call And we just rejoice in that. We are so happy.
I am so blessed to have the 18th grandchild born. Absolutely. I'm so blessed to have had you with me that evening.
Oh,
that was very special that you were with me that night.
But the thing that capped it off is that we took a sailboat, one of the most beautiful boats I've ever seen in my life.
And wasn't it a beautiful day when we left out?
It was gorgeous. Early that morning.
Oh, we watched the sunrise.
Yeah, everything was peaceful and calm until we got about 5 miles before we were to the limit. Boy, then all heck broke loose.
But that sailboat was a 100-year-old sailboat, all wooden, hand-carved. And I tell you,
gorgeous.
That boat, I knew was going to stand up to anything. But I also knew that there was a storm coming by.
Yeah.
The storm was we were going to hit a storm before we hit the other side.
It got us. It got us. But that was one of the most adventuresome. Now, we had a few more. but that was quite adventuresome. And it was quite education for me because that was the first time I had been on a sailboat. Mm-hmm. You know, it had to be, what, a 60-footer or something like that?
Yes, it was.
It was a 60-footer. And
did you get sick?
I knew you'd get to that. You had just introduced me that previous night to sushi.
Yes,
I've never eaten sushi before in my life.
That made the finest projectile vomit I've ever seen. Absolutely.
Oh, man,
we have a caller. We're gonna come back to this in a second.
No, we'll go to another one.
Okay,
we'll go to another story.
Welcome to today's show from the Wheelhouse. Welcome to the call.
Sure, my name is Ray. I'm a 74-year-old Vietnam veteran, and this is why I went to go serve the best country in the world, so they can have great shows like yours on TV. I am so proud of this show. This is the first time I've ever seen it, and I've been listening for the last 5 or 6 minutes.
Wow.
I enjoyed every second of it. So, gentlemen, it's my pleasure to tell you that this is a great show, and this is why we should go to the service for our country so we can have more great shows like this on TV. Instead of hearing about all that terrible stuff on the outside, turn on your TV, sit back, and watch a great show like this. Thanks once again. This is Ray. I'll be watching you every week from now on.
Thank you so much. I appreciate your call, and we both appreciate all your wonderful compliments.
Thank you.
Thank you again for calling. You know, that caller was really poignant as he talked about serving the country and so forth. Now, the United States Merchant Marine, or Merchant Mariners, we are not active military per se.
Right.
We are only active military if we are brought into action by the Congress.
That's correct.
Now, we have also been involved in every conflict that the United States has been in since 1777.
Right.
And the mission of the Merchant Marine is to bring the tools of war and the weapons of, the tools of war, which includes weapons, and the men and women of war to the theater of war. And then we get the heck out of there as quick as we can because we don't have the training for combat. But in every conflict, like if you look at what they did on D-Day, you see all of these thousands of boats coming over and dropping off soldiers.
In Dunkirk.
Absolutely.
In Dunkirk,
most of those boats were driven by merchant marines.
Correct.
Merchant Marines have the largest loss of life percentage-wise than any other branch of service. And there are 10 branches of services, not just the 4 that we normally hear about. There are 10 branches of service. Make sure you go to Soldiers Field one day and take a look at all of the plaques for all of the different branches of service.
Correct.
But there is something else. Now that you finish captain school, there is some other thing that you have to have, and it kind of looks like these, you know. And I want to take this time I want to take this time to really do something very, very important. Not only are we as a people no longer the cargo. That's right, I said it, yes I did. We are no longer the cargo.
We're the captain.
We are today's captains. We are today's engineers, fiberglass repairmen, computer operators, you name it. There are 300 different job categories in the maritime industry that you can pursue. Don't think that you have to be a captain. You really don't have to be a captain. There are many other things. And this man sitting next to me, he didn't start off being a captain. He started off being a deckhand, learning how to tie knots. But today, ladies and gentlemen, I want to take this time. I want to take this time to do something very special. Come on over here and get dead center. There you go, almost dead center. We got to have from the wheelhouse showing. But I want to take this time to present you with Captain Applets, because Benton Cook has done the things necessary to become a captain. I could not be more proud of this man, ladies and gentlemen. If you paid me, I couldn't be more proud.
Thank you, sir.
I have to figure out how to. All right, here we go. I could not be paid to be more proud than I am today to be working with this man here, ladies and gentlemen. This man now, he knows how to drive boats. He knows exactly what to do in order to save lives. I have seen him in action, and I want you to know that you can trust that we have another captain on board to help us on the waterways and inspire us. Don't you know, ladies and gentlemen, that any one of you, that's what I said, any one of you can become a captain as well. And it takes how many days again?
360 days on the water.
Under the direction of a captain.
Correct.
Now, you are able, you have been awarded your license already, right?
Correct.
Okay, so I wouldn't be putting these bars on you if you had not. I want you to know that this is now
It's official.
not just Dr. Cook, because he's also got a PhD, but he's Dr. Captain Cook. Dr. Captain Cook, I couldn't be more proud of you. Congratulations.
Well, thank you again.
But there's one more step that you must do. In order to become a member of the United States Merchant Marines, you must swear an oath.
Okay.
And so I want you to raise your right hand.
Yes, sir.
And I want you to repeat after me. I do solemnly swear
I do solemnly swear
or affirm that I will faithfully and honestly,
or affirm I will faithfully and honestly,
according to my best skill and judgment,
according to my best skill and judgment,
and without concealment and reservation,
and without concealment or reservation,
perform all of the duties required of me
perform all of the duties required of me
by the laws of the United States.
by the laws of the United States.
I will faithfully and honestly carry out all the lawful orders
I will faithfully and honestly carry out all the lawful orders
of my superior officers aboard a vessel.
of my superior officers aboard a vessel.
You're the captain now,
Right.
and you're at the top of the food chain.
Yes, sir.
I want to congratulate you,
Okay.
Captain Dr. Cook. What should I call you? Captain Dr. Cook? Dr. Benton Cook? Captain? Or
No.
sir? Or hey you?
What you been calling me? Hey, you. No, you know, everyone in this industry, in this field, Captain Cook is sufficient.
Captain Cook.
Yeah.
And what a name, too. Captain Cook is a famous captain that explored Hawaii. He has his own story. You need to read about that guy. But we have a Captain Cook in Chicago now, ladies and gentlemen. And you need to be proud of him also, because I have a feeling that he and Dreamcatchers are going to do something to make more captains. Now, what the heck is Dreamcatcher?
Well, I started the organization 20 years ago in Memphis, Tennessee. After
Did
that,
you?
I had retired from NBC Sports and wanted to go down there and, and do some things, give back to our community. So I looked up and I remember reading about the Dreamcatcher's emblem that some of the Indians were using. And this is example of one.
I've seen this before.
And the people in our organization, each one of them is given. Let me explain a little bit.
Okay.
Each one of them is given a dream catcher, emblem, and then each one of our young people, we have a piece of paper in there where they write on what their dreams are. What is your dream for 1 week from now? What is your dream to accomplish in 30 days? What is your dream to accomplish in 3 months?
I see.
So we help them to achieve those dreams and those goals and to do things that they can be proud of, step by step, moment by moment. And the emphasis is in what we're able to do. So I transferred this particular organization's efforts, and now we are here in Chicago, and we have a program that is sponsored by the Chicago Yacht Club Foundation. And every month I talk with them today. We met on it today, and they are starting an 8-week session. Last year was 4 weeks. This year it'll be 8 weeks, in which they teach our young people how to sail. They teach them about the maritime industry.
What do you mean, young people? How old do you have to be in?
From 8 to 16.
Wait a minute, 8 years old
8 years
out there
old.
learning how to sail?
How to sail a boat,
Ooh.
how to drive a power boat,
Wow.
how to, to do the knots on the boat. And the important thing about that is introduction. Okay? Let them have an opportunity to at least try it. See if you like it.
There you go.
I was 60 years old before I got a chance to try it.
Did you always want to try it?
I always wanted to try it, but life gets in the way. I went to school, had different professions, had family and things of that nature, so I couldn't take the time. But after retirement, I said, I'm going to do this.
So what does a person do that wants to really get into this with our last minute or two? What does a person do to get in touch with you? Can they get in touch with Captain Mark? And Captain Mark will contact
Captain Mark has been so gracious with his time, his energy, and efforts, and I suggest that you give him a personal call.
Here's his number.
His
you
number
better
is
call.
312-437-2230, and he will point you in the direction. And he'll also, if you're interested or you have young people who are interested in this program, have them get in touch with it. My organization, Dreamcatchers, we will gladly put you in the program, or put your young people in the program, your grandchild, your child.
But wait a minute.
Niece or nephew.
Isn't the Chicago Yacht Club for the muckety mucks? So that's for the rich people and all of that?
But the captain, there's a misconception that because
Isn't
they
there?
have, that they don't want to give. And these people openly, graciously, last year, provided everything you need. You do not have to have a dime to come and participate in this. All the boats that you want to go on, they provide you with meals.
Wow.
I mean, they provided us with a lavish lunch and everything.
Oh my goodness. Listen, folks, if you want to become a part of the maritime industry, or you want to introduce this to your children, grandchildren, nieces, nephews,
Right.
now's the time to do it. It's in the springtime.
Yes.
Dreamcatchers has opened their doors and opened their hearts along
Correct.
with the Chicago Yacht Club. We have to thank them, and we have a new teacher in Captain Cook here, because I know this guy knows his stuff for sure.
Because of you.
And you did your part too.
Yeah, but
Captain Cook, thank you so much
Thank
for
you so
joining
much,
us
Captain Mark.
on today's show.
Appreciate you, brother.
Man, I love you so
Love
much.
you back,
Thank you.
even more.
This man, I could trust him with my life, and so can you. I promise that. That's for sure.
Bring your young people.
You know, until we see you again next week, I want you to think about this. We are no longer the cargo. I'll keep saying it until they kick me off of the air. The doors are now open for you to participate and get in the maritime industry at so many different levels.
Yes.
It's your turn now. So until next week, I'll see you then for sure. So, Mama, get the coffee ready. The kid, he's on his way.
Ahoy, mate.